You're trying to gauge, good to have you back, our chief financial correspondent. It's quiet. How quiet is it on Wall Street?
It's quiet, and they would like it to be a lot busier. They've been complaining for several quarters in a row about activity levels being reduced, and that means they make less money. So they'd like to have a lot more trading, a lot more hedge fund activity that would bring more money to these big banks.
What makes that happen? Is it just market movement? Is it nominal GDP? What gets that frenzy going?
Well, if you listen to some of the management of these firms, they would say the problem is this uncertainty about Europe, problems like the Japan tsunami, all these events outside of traders' control have been happening and have been keeping investors from making big commitments in the markets. On the other hand, if you look at the markets, there are big areas of the markets that are doing incredibly well. I mean, you look at commodity prices, you look at junk bond prices.
IPOs are picking up a little bit.
Yeah, so it's sort of strange. There's a little bit of a disconnect between the management of these firms saying we're not seeing much activity and then the actual prices in the market.
Well, uncertainty was the word of the day. Earlier this morning on Bloomberg Surveillance, I spoke with Diane Swank of Mesero Financial, and I asked her how big a factor uncertainty is for employers. Oh, we don't have it. Okay, we'll get a little technical issue there. What is the uncertainty on Wall Street? Will we see layoffs this summer?
Well, you and I have talked about this in the past. This is a big question. The revenue trends are not good. We've been writing about it a lot on Bloomberg. They can't find ways to make more money out of trading.
Right.
So if that's true, trading is one of the big pieces, if not the biggest piece of revenue for a lot of these companies. So if they're making less money, they're going to have to employ fewer people. Also, at the same time, they've got technology coming in that is apparently going to replace a lot of these people they employ. They've got, they're trying to clear and exchange trade a lot of these things that have been done over the phone. That might mean jobs go.
Here's a chart here. What does this mean for the board? And I don't mean to pick on Goldman. It's Goldman on the brain. Mr. Blankfein confronts life after crisis. Okay, there's the crisis. It came back, yay team. They roll over, not so much specifically to Goldman, but are the boards saying to the management, what are you going to do? Or the management so individualistic that the boards just sort of say, okay, what's the plan? How does that work on Wall Street?
Oh, well, I wish I had an inside, position on those discussions between boards and management on Wall Street. What I can tell you is that so far the boards of these firms have been very supportive of Wall Street. We just went through the annual meeting season, and you saw very strong votes in favor of the board members, and the board members are supporting the managers. So far it looks like they're all united. There could be a point though where these share prices keep falling, that they change.
Okay, Steve Roach op-ed. Let's bring it up here. He darkened the door today for Bloomberg Surveillance. This is from a few weeks ago, like end of May or something. 10 reasons why China is different. Over the next 5 years, the Wall Street service share, I'm editorializing there, the services share of Chinese GDP, you can see it down here, Christine, could rise above the currently targeted 4% increase. This is labor-intensive, resource-efficient, environmentally friendly, and has nothing to do with jobs in America. If we boost the service sector in China, that's got to be Wall Street going over there to help out, right?
They're making no secret about that. I mean, Gary Cohn, who's the deputy to Lloyd Blankfein at Goldman Sachs, spoke at an investor event last week. And he was very clear that the #1 place they're hiring is in China. Number 2 is India, and number 3 is Brazil. Also mentioned Singapore and Bangalore in India. These are not American jobs that are being created. They're jobs overseas. It's great for the shareholders of these companies because they see a lot of growth there. Maybe not so great for the American economy.
You know everything on Wall Street. Who just bid $2 million for Warren Buffett's lunch?
That I do not know. I wish I did.
You don't know? Smith and Wollensky.
I thought it might be you.
You could go. You could have the vegetarian-like thing at Smith and Wollensky. That's a scary. Christine Harper at a steakhouse. Imagine. It's a break exclusive, absolutely. Christine Harper at the Buffett lunch. I'm starting a rumor there. Christine, thank you so much. Chief Financial Correspondent for Bloomberg News.